Not only the blue and gold color finish, but also that unique pattern and shimmer on the front of the box. We've honestly not seen many boxes make such a great first impression, and opening it up you find a more recognizable second box. It's got that same pattern and sticks to the dark color theme, this time with gold and black. You find this pretty standard SIM tool with some paperwork and legal information about the device and a TPU case inside, which we're starting to see more and more with smartphones these days, and this being a premium device, it would have been nice to see something a bit more higher end. Nonetheless, next up in the box is the Find X2 Pro. This is the 4G variant of the device, but UAE markets should see the 5G variant hit stores when it's available in a few weeks' time. It's in the midnight black color option, equipped with 12GB of RAM and 512GB of UFS 3.0 storage, which cannot be expanded via microSD. The phone has a nice premium heft to it, and all around it's as standard with your microphones, charging port, speakers, and the power and volume buttons all in their usual positions, with that little Oppo green accent on the power button. The Find X2 Pro is also IP68 water and dust resistant, which is a big plus. But before going any further with specifications, let's round up on the unboxing. You find a SuperVOOC 2.0 charging brick which supports 65-watt charging, as well as another box that houses quite a few things: a Type-C to Type-A USB charger, the Type-C USB pair of headphones, and some replacement ear tips to adjust fit. So the phone, as I said, rests quite comfortably in your hand. The ceramic back has this micro texture that basically resists smudges, and I think that's a good move both for grip and aesthetics. But the key thing to note here with the phone is its display and camera. Boasting a 120Hz 1440 by 3168 pixel 6.7-inch AMOLED panel, it comes with a pre-installed screen protector over the Gorilla Glass 6 protection, and it's up there with the best, combined with the phone's powerful stereo speakers. There's a slight curve to the edges of the panel, and in a year where we've seen competitors revert to flatter edges, this is an interesting move. But Oppo is able to get both a QHD Plus resolution and 120Hz refresh rate to work simultaneously on the phone, which is a first. The experience so far has felt very snappy, and that's also aided by the phone's Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 octa-core chip. Oppo's also worked on its ColorOS 7.1 software on top of Android 10 with refinements, making the experience look a lot cleaner and quite frankly enjoyable, although there's still plenty of bloatware pre-installed on the phone. Another interesting thing about the X2 Pro is its O1 Ultra Vision engine. So remember when I said the phone screen runs at 120Hz? Well, not all content, especially online, is made for that. So by turning this on, the software simulates that refresh rate in content. But by default, this is set to 60 FPS. And if you want to push it to 120 FPS, you'll need to lower your screen's resolution to full HD+. You do see this wipe effect when it comes into play in videos, and it even works to elevate standard SDR content to HDR content, and while I haven't experienced it being very obvious, it'll be interesting to see how useful it is in the long run and whether or not I get used to this sort of effect. Then there's the triple camera setup on the X2 Pro. So we've got a 48 megapixel main wide lens with omnidirectional face detection autofocus, a 13 megapixel periscope lens with 5x optical zoom, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. The phone also supports 10x hybrid zoom, an improved night mode, and ultra steady video, and we'll get to all of that with our comparisons coming very shortly. On the front, of course, there's the punch hole, but it's quite minimalistic if you ask me, and that's where you find the 32 megapixel sensor for your selfies. I've enjoyed using the phone so far, and it definitely gets size, weight, and form factor spot on. Small things like the lowered volume buttons and a fast in-screen fingerprint scanner are very much appreciated. Just something I've noticed, the phone doesn't respond to auto-rotate as well as it should, but that's a small thing, and I'm sure we'll see constant software support to fix these problems before the phone's launch, and we're already starting to see software updates with the phone. We're excited also to test the phone's 4260 mAh battery, both for endurance and recharging, because the phone is set to go from 0 to 100% in just 38 minutes. So that wraps up this one. Expect to see more coverage of this phone compared to others in the coming days, and make sure to like and subscribe to not miss out. Thanks for watching. This was Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.